Hey everybody, it's me, Nightmare Planet. Today will be a very special day. A full year ago, I made Wake Up Minecraft Creepypasta, which today we shall be covering for the Creator Commentary Series. Now, this video is the definition of the game changer. Up to this point, my video editing wasn't really that good. It was still struggling a bit. We had some really good moments and then we had some really bad moments. But this is when I was able to really understand how to make creepypastas and how to actually put them in a format that actually sounded good and actually was good. And the video and all the everything was about it was actually pretty good. I was able to actually make it good. Up to this point, it's been like on and off, like Alignment Chapter 2 has some really good parts and then have some really bad parts. The Pale Man itself was really weird. It kind of was good and then a lot of it was just bad. And then the first one was the first ever one, so the video quality and audio quality is pretty insane when it comes to how high and low it gets. But this video right here is one of the best videos I've ever made, hands down. This video right here, Wake Up. So this thumbnail also is pretty creative. You see, when I was making this creepypasta, I was looking at other creepypastas, specifically other Minecraft creepypastas, like the ones that actually have it in game and all this stuff. And I decided to base my thumbnail off of those. So, like one of those creepypastas, so I made this thumbnail instead of the traditional black on the left side and the picture on the right. It's instead the whole picture, and it says, "If you see this thing in Minecraft," then like a gibberish comes up, which is a really important detail as this is meant to be a massive twist. So, if you have not watched the video, I highly recommend you watch the creepypasta video before you jump into this one because this one's going to spoil a lot and answer a lot of questions. We will also be going over the wake up call at the end of the video, at the very end in the description, the 9/11 phone call. This is one of my greatest videos and one of my greatest stories ever made, as it is a massive twist on the traditional, kinda simple storyline of a Minecraft creepypasta where they find this entity and they try to run away from it and eventually they die. Which this one though puts a massive twist on it, which I really like a lot. I was also inspired for Five Nights at Freddy's 4 when I was making this one, which is why they have the kind of night system a little bit. They have like the story about 2 or 3 nights where weird stuff happens and he has to survive, which was kind of inspired by it. But also in the same way as the ending, you'll find out. If you already watched it, you already know. But the ending, especially, is probably one of my greatest endings I've ever made. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Hello, my name is Nathan. Currently, I'm playing Minecraft. I feel like I'm losing my mind and my grip on reality. Like I'm growing weaker and weaker. Like I'm going insane. Look, let me explain. One Friday night, me and my friends were having fun playing games at Gustav's place. Because he has the best games ever. We played it for hours until my mom agreed to pick us up and drop us off. As me and my friends were discussing what we should do to Minecraft that night, Gustav wanted to make a castle, but I didn't really want to because it seemed way too easy. Instead, we decided to make a town with everything, you need, like houses, stores, police, and a hospital. Suddenly, a car almost crashed into us, leaving us all scared, as my mother screamed at the driver that drove off. And she decided to say it by saying some bad words that even I can't say. That's when my friend Nick decided to also make a gas station as well to our town. When we all got into our homes, I quickly ran to my room when the lights suddenly flickered, which I was a little shocked by, but made sure my parents would not interrupt me by locking the door anyway. Me and my friends got online. My username is Nathan Raygun 457 because I like Minecraft and playing zombies. My friends' usernames were Gustav Poopman, Roy's Chicken Dinner, and Pharaoh the Barrel. He was always really grumpy but realistic when it comes to building stuff. We decided to name our town after where we live, which I cannot pronounce for the life of me, honestly. I don't know how to really pronounce words yet. I'm gonna try my best though. School O'Harry. Yeah, that. So the reason why I did this was because the story was about a child and I couldn't actually pronounce this word really well, so I decided, well, it's a child, so it counts. It works. It works pretty well. Even though after looking back on it, I kind of wished I actually was able to say it right, but I mean, this still works. I don't know where I really live. My mom never tells me really much. We continued to build the house, making everything we said we were going to build, which required a lot of resources, so I was in charge of getting wood. A couple hours into the game, I noticed a valley of dead trees and plants, and a bunch of rotten flesh, and the biome was all gray, as well as the sky there. I texted my friends if Minecraft got a new update recently or something, and they said no. Then I told them to come over here. Eventually, they came and saw the biome I was talking about, but they said it looked normal. Apparently, on everyone else's screens, they were seeing a normal Plains Tree Valley, and they were wondering was that what I was talking about, and maybe they thought I was going nuts or something. So I said, do you guys not see the rotted flesh everywhere? And they responded with, dude, what rotted flesh? Then I realized I might just be going crazy, and left the area thinking that my game was glitchy, or something, I don't know. They suggested I log back in, and that's exactly what I did, and when I came back, they were right, suddenly everything else was back to normal. So I shrugged it off as just a glitch. Then about an hour later, I was building the tower fence for mobs, not spawning and try to kill me. I saw something in the distance, a dark figure in the hills, near our base. I scrambled to get my friends to get to see that thing, but when I got back, it was already gone. And they told me to get back to work on the hospital instead of work on the fence, and that's what I did. Then not long after that, I saw that thing again, this time closer to the base, in the broad daylight, but the ground was around him was just gray and rotted flesh everywhere. I was getting scared at this point. I saw it earlier, and earlier it was there. I couldn't see much from this distance, but I made sure I wouldn't get closer. I immediately told my friends to look at this, and when they got there, it was gone again. Now they began to think I was actually really crazy. They told me to go into our Minecraft house and try to relax for a bit. And when I got there, I swear, not even 5 minutes later, after they left, I saw it again. This time outside near the shore looking at me. I got my friends and tried to show them this time. I wore armor to fight this thing this time, but when I got there, it was gone. And my friends were furious, thinking that I was wasting their time. So they decided to put me in the criminal cell, which we had just in case someone stole something from one of us. They put me in and I begged them to let me out, but they said I need some time to relax and calm down until I was normal again. So we won't let you out. Then they left, making me furious. Then a while passed when I was in there. I was so bored. Until suddenly I noticed a player has joined in spying my cell named weird name. It's like gibberish, I can't tell. So this name is not just gibberish actually. This name actually it means something. It's a cipher. And it's right. Okay. So this is a cipher right here. Here's what the gibberish was, and here's what it actually means. Wake up, we're already dead. Now this is pretty cool. I'll be honest, it's been a while. It's been a whole year, so I don't remember every exact detail I did, but I do remember that I did do some ciphers, and this is one of them, which looking back makes this text at the beginning way more ominous. Way more ominous. Welcome, wake up, we are already dead. Join for the first time. Ooh. Which I think is gibberish. He comes up to me and tells me over and over again, wake up, wake up. I at this point was scared. The server's private, plus we're playing only vanilla Minecraft here. I asked him what did he want, and he kept saying, wake up, over and over again. Eventually I got sick of it, so I screamed, shut up! And so he did. Then he said, you need to leave now, you cannot stay here. I thought at first he was talking about the cell, so I mean like, you mean the cell? And he replied, no, this world. This world? Does he mean the server? Why do I need to leave the world? Because if you don't, bad things will happen to you, and I can't let that happen. Bad things? Like what? I replied. The realization. That doesn't answer my question. You've been seeing a dark figure around the place, right? I stood there, shocked of what I just heard. How do you know that? That doesn't matter. What matters is that if he catches you, you will be stuck here forever. Stuck here forever? Does he mean the server again? You're saying I'm stuck here? Not yet, but even if he does catch you, yes. I didn't trust this guy. Main reason why I didn't trust this guy was his skin looked like a bloody boy or something, but his hair color was which made okay. I think I've explained this before, but I shall say it again. The reason why those sag or weird sound effects pops is because I said something in the recording that was not accurate to what the story was actually about. Everybody. So this way I didn't have to re-record everything, but just simply blank it out or beep it out. I feel suspicious of him, but no other choice I had to ask, what do I need to do? He replied with, "You need 3 keys, which you will get 1 per day. You will probably notice that your door is locked, and you won't be able to leave until you complete this. Be careful at night. There will be times where a figure will come out of your closet, and you will need to flash it with your flashlight. But never open the closet, no matter what. Now I will teleport you to the location of the first key, which is inside the life-size version of your toy temple's toy set." I was super confused on what he just was saying. Like, I need a flashlight at night, my door will be locked, and my toy set would be in Minecraft? But with no other way to escape, I listened to him and said, "Yes, come on, let's go." I suddenly got teleported to the snow biome as it was blizzarding hard, which was crazy because I could feel the coldness somehow. I don't really know how, but I could feel as well. I walked further through the snow, but the more I pushed further and further, I started seeing things in the shadows. I proceeded, one was tall, and 3 of them were short and were running. Playing, I was trying to find what the figures were, but then when I got there was nothing. Like they blended into the blizzard. But then there was one figure that I saw that sent shivers down my spine. Figure, but instead of being gray, it was blending to smoke. It was dark, and coming closer. The more it came closer to me, the more the world started to glitch. Eventually it turned gray. But luckily for me, I found a temple and quickly got the key. And then the game crashed with the text, "Go to sleep. Come back the next day." I was so scared and confused. The first thing I thought that I was going crazy, that I might have hit my head too hard earlier. Now I'm a dream. So I tried opening the door, but it was locked. What? I thought. I tried even harder and harder to open the door and eventually tried to break down the door, but nothing worked. I even tried breaking the windows in my room, but they made of bedrock or something. Eventually I gave up and just tried to go to sleep, hoping I'll wake up and this will all be over. Suddenly I began hearing noises and noises. It sounded like something slimy moving on the floor. Heavy breathing. I never what the strange player said about flashing. And I quickly flashed my flashlight. I saw tentacles sticking out of the closet that looked like black ink, spreading, and a face with a huge jaw and a long tongue. But as soon as I flashed it, the thing hid back in the closet, and I was freaking out. I tried to call my mom and dad, but nothing worked. Then I began thinking that I was in a nightmare and just couldn't wake up. I tried hitting myself and waking up, but it didn't work. It didn't do anything. I eventually began crying, being terrified and scared and alone, wondering why can't I wake up? Maybe I was just going crazy. None of this was real. I was going crazy. But that wouldn't explain why my door is locked shut and why my windows are rock solid. I tried going back to sleep, but I couldn't stop thinking about the monster in my closet. A couple minutes later, I heard the tentacles moving and quickly flashed it this time. I only saw a couple tentacles this time. After one more time of that thing showing up, I was finally able to sleep and woke up the next day. But it seemed like I slept through the entire day. When I woke up, it was already sunset. It was still only me and no one else there. And I realized I might be able to contact my friends for help. I logged back in and luckily saw my friends were on the server. When I joined my friends, they were apologizing for me and for being so mean to me for locking me up yesterday. I forgave them pretty quickly, but I told them everything that happened to me yesterday, which they still thought I was going crazy, but they respected. What the fuck? I was not going crazy, and they thought I was. I was, and they respected it. I'm not going crazy. I saw what I saw. I can't leave my room, and I'm trapped. I screamed. I begged them to come over and open the door to wake me up. Suddenly, all my friends split down. Okay, 2 things. One, I was trying to make this dramatic build up where it was like, but thanks to the audio was not prepared for. So weird. And second, it's time we get to this gibberish here. But it said something that confused me so much. Gustav Poopman has been. Roy's chicken dinner has been. Pharaoh the Barrel has been. Yep. Even though they sound gibberish, this is not gibberish. This is what it means. So the first one, which we saw, Gustav Poopman, was actually killed by a car accident. So it means that he was killed by a car accident. And the same thing goes for the second guy. The third guy, though, Pharaoh the Barrel, actually means trying to save you all. So if we go back, we can tell that Gustav Poopman has been killed by a car accident. Roy's chicken dinner has been killed by a car accident, while Pharaoh the Barrel has been trying to save you all. All my friends have just been kicked out of the game and some weird mumbo jumbo text pops up. I was horrified and I'm scared and I started freaking out when suddenly, wake up, wake up. I turn around and see the same dark, strange figure. I immediately demand what happened to my friends. He says, why do you care about them? Because they're my friends, I replied, screaming. Then he says, no, they're not. Then the strange player began talking. The next key is inside an end dungeon, which is inside a massive cave. Your goal is to simply get the key. But for tonight, it's going to be a little different. The door will be open, but at all costs. Screaming at the top of his lungs that the world turned red around him. Do not open the door. Even if you hear rattling and knocking and voices of anyone you know, you must not open the door at any cost. Got it? I quickly nod my head. This time, your monster in the closet will not be scared. You will flash it if you flash it from far away. You will have to wait until it's up close to your face to flash it to make it go away. Luckily, you only have to do this once in the night. And whatever you do, don't follow it. That's about it now. I will tell them where you to the entrance of the cave entrance. Are you ready? He sighed to me wanted to leave, but I knew this was my only way out of the hell I've been through. So I will do whatever it takes to get me out of here. So I tell him, send me in. And that was the end of the first part. So this is the first creepypasta I had to make where it had to be split into two parts. So one of them was the first video and then one of the second one. So this way we were able to combine them in my computer as much. And I'm talking about my old computer. My old blue computer lagged a lot during editing. So this way I had to split the video in two so there would be less lag. I was teleporting inside the entrance of the cave. It looked like a bunch of skeletons and skulls everywhere, but the eyes were filled with water for some reason. Kinda looked like it was crying. Even though I felt creeped out, I kept going further inside. The more deeper I went, the more I noticed that the one torch I had would all of a sudden flicker a lot. Also, as I heard someone else crying, it sounded a little distorted. As I approached it, whatever this thing was, I saw a skull that looked like Gustav's player model. I was shocked. See my friend dead there on the ground. Suddenly the person's crying stopped. I looked at me. She appeared to be a girl crying with bloody tears in orange eyes. As she shrieked, this terrible sound went across the entire cave. As I ran away, I could tell that thing was getting up on me. Now with 8 limbs and upside down head with a twisted smile. I wasn't really focusing on where I was going. I was running. All I wanted to do was get away from this thing. Suddenly, I fell down a huge ravine. Luckily, I landed in water and looked up and noticed the monster was gone. I was paralyzed of how I was so close to dying. I think that's what he meant when he said, don't follow it. I eventually got up and saw the entrance to the end portal tunnels. I quickly ran inside. I looked around but noticed that everything was gray and dead, which confused me a little, considering how bare bones this place was already. Suddenly I heard crying, but from multiple voices sounding like they were trapped and it was coming from all directions. I kept trying to look for the end portal, but as I kept looking, I noticed the same dark figure coming closer and closer, and this time it would teleport around to different hallways. It was running more and more. I kept running into the same monster and more. And the more I kept running into it, the more the game started lagging and glitching, as the voices would continue crying and begging for help. And the dark figure I could tell was holding something, kind of like a long sword or something. So I kept running away, trying to get the voices out of my head. And finally, I found the key and I jumped into the portal. Then the
same text from before popped up. Go to sleep.
So
Come
with
back the
that
next
scene,
day.
ooh, there's a lot. Past two, well, this whole video so far, the symbols and foreshadowing. Right now, what you need to know is that the dark figure is holding something like a massive long thing in his hands, which is massive foreshadowing, which is what's going to come up next soon.
After that, I took a break, but kept wondering what on earth is going on. Where are my friends? Will I ever see them again? Am I trapped in here forever? Eventually, night fell. I tried sleeping and remembered what the strange player said. This time, your monster in the closet will not be scared if you flash it from far away. You'll have to wait until it's up close to your face and then flash to make it go away. Luckily, you only have to do this once in the night. So that's exactly what I did. But I didn't know when to properly flash it in his face. So I waited and waited and eventually dozed off. When I suddenly wake up, I hearing the same slimy sounds and heavy breathing, but this time I could tell that I could feel it was near my bed as it approached closer and closer until I could hear the slimy sounds now on my bed, and it wasn't in my face. So I flashed at his face and saw something I will never forget. It was much scarier than the monkey Simba's. It had a massive, it was about to bite my head off. The teeth was so big and scary. It had pure black eyes, no pupils, like it had no soul. It had long slimy tentacles coming out of its arms and legs, and its body looked like it was sliced up, open and dripping out black liquid. Suddenly, the thing quickly ran back inside the closet, and I desperately wanted to check the closet to see if it was there, or what it was, but I read what the strange player said. Don't ever open the closet. You might be asking, why am I trusting this guy so much? Well, it's because I can't escape, I lost all my friends, and all this weird stuff going on in Minecraft. It would be a dumb idea to anger the thing that could easily end my life. I have no choice but to trust that guy with my life. Then, I hear scratching outside my door, as if someone was dragging something sharp. Then it stopped, as it reached my door, and I began hearing knocking and rattling on the door, as if it was locked, but I knew it wasn't locked. It continued doing it more angrily and furiously. I didn't know how much I could take it. Eventually it stopped, and the scratching from before came back as it faded away. At this point I might regret, but my curiosity was killing me. I had to see it. When I opened that door, I saw the hallway was pitch black, but I could tell the same dark figure from Minecraft was there, walking away from my door. I could tell whatever it was wearing a robe. I shut my door shut as I heard the scratching fade away. Before there was nothing, and beginning to feel tired, I fell asleep. But right before I did, I looked at the room and realized how much I kind of loved my room. It was nice and calm, had posters from everything I love, even had a picture of my mom and dad at Disney World. I wonder if one day I'll ever see them again. But anyway, after that I fell asleep, and had a dream of a bright light in my face with people around wearing masks for some reason. I noticed I couldn't move as the people shuffled around, grabbing a tube, and then someone grabbed an air mask and put it on my face, and then I suddenly wake up again in the same room, and my Minecraft computer was on, and I realized it was time to get out of here. Today, I eventually logged on in Minecraft again. This time, when I logged in the world, I was in the town we were working on and saw it was already finished. Honestly, it looked incredible. The lights were shiny and tall. It was like it was brand new. If only I could have seen it with my friends. Suddenly a text box shows up from the strange player saying, "The last key is in your house. Come and we can leave this place." I was so happy. I started running down the street. I lived after all. All of this night that can finally be over. The more I ran down the street, the more I noticed red spots everywhere and right on the wall. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. Soon we'll be together again. I was a little creeped out, but I kept running, not caring at all. It was finally over. The more I ran, more red spots appeared, and eventually, everything was covered in red. As I made it down the street, I noticed a car off the road with people around it. Some of them crying, while others were writing and talking. Then I looked inside, and I couldn't see anything, but the red stuff was leaking out the car, which made me sick. Someone could have been hurt here. Luckily, it wasn't like the monster in the cave, and the people did not notice me at all, as I was like invisible or something. Finally, I made it down to my house, but it was black and bleak, like the life has been sucked out of it. I could tell the black liquid was spilling out of the house. I went inside knowing that this was the end of this nightmare. I ran inside and looked around at my house, but I couldn't find anything until I suddenly heard a pants hitting together. And then I saw the same monkey monster from my closet, and this time it was right up in my face. It yelled out the store to war as it began chasing me. I quickly ran up the stairs using the clock tower to slow down, but it just went past through it, like it wasn't real. I quickly booked it down the hall, which was pitch black like my hallways in real life, and the monsters was on my tail, and they yelling my name too. But the more I kept running for my life, hoping that there would be something at the end of the hall, I suddenly saw it. The key. I quickly sprinted towards it, but the monster leaped out at me, and then
So
I
real
opened
quick,
my eyes.
and I would like to mention this because I was able to check it out and I realized there's a lot of people who did this. A lot of people casually just skip the entire video, and that's why they don't happen anymore. Basically, before wake up, what I decided to do was that I decided to change up a little bit of how the URL links to hidden videos worked. So instead of putting it in the description, they were now in the videos. However, after this video and the Live at Chester 3, I realized that people were just skipping the entire video to get to the one clip at the end where they had the URL link. So, starting after Lemon Chapter 3, we will no longer do that anymore. I do not longer do that anymore. I do not intend on doing that anymore. And I thank you all for your understanding. But that's why it is there, and that's why it flashes on for a split second.
The bright key was in my hands, and the monster was gone. I felt so happy it was finally over. Suddenly, in real life, the lights flickered. The place stopped working, and I thought that meant I was finally going to get out of here. But the game kept playing eventually. Then I heard footsteps through the darkness of the hall. It was the strange player, but he looked different. He looked like Nick. He was Pharaoh the Barrel in Minecraft. Then he started talking. I'm sorry, but this was the only way. Suddenly, I hear the same scratching from the halls in real life from before. What's going on? I screamed at him. If we want to be together, all of us, this is the only way. I'm sorry I had to end like this, but trust me, it will be all over soon. Then he turned into the figure I've been seeing this entire time. This time I could tell he was wearing a dark robe with skulls behind him. And before I knew, he was holding a sickle. Suddenly, the doors open as the game crashes and I start panicking. No, 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 no. What's going on? What's going to happen to me? Will I ever see my family and friends again? No. I can't think straight. I must all criminal reality as the world fades into black as I close my eyes. What I can hear is beep, 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 beep.
So, if you've not noticed, and if you already watched, I don't know if you've watched this video or not, there's a bunch of foreshadowing throughout this entire video that's been in a coma. This whole time, the kid's been in a coma, playing Minecraft, and what happened was earlier at the very beginning of the video, there was almost a car accident, but what actually happened is that was a car accident. And everyone there, except for Nathan, died. Everyone died. So Nick, which is the Pharaoh Barrel's spirit, guides him away from life to death, which is why he gets all the keys, all this crazy. How there's a lot of foreshadowing of this death figure entity that shows up everywhere more and more and gets closer more and more. And the more it becomes more getting closer, and the more times you see it, the more the sounds and the hearing and all the visuals about it, you're able to see and hear more of what it is until it becomes real. And it's a beautiful twist on the classic Minecraft creepypasta. Where if you've seen them, you know there's a scary entity that usually kills all the friends first, then the main character last. But this one puts a massive twist on it, where the side characters are one of the side characters trying to save his friend by letting him die with them, so they won't be alone, and that he won't have to suffer alone, being in this coma, and that the fact that he's technically supporting the bad guy, who is the entity. And what's interesting is that this video has no Minecraft actual gameplay. All the Minecraft photos are just photos. None of it is actually gameplay. And yet, it has one of the most best stories ever I have written. and it took me a real long time to make this at the time. It was the first really big creepypasta video I made, besides the Light My Chapters 2. This one took me from July 22nd to August 2nd with almost no breaks. Like, almost none. Just constant, because I was still injured during this time on my leg injury, but it's healed a lot better at that point. So I was able to work on it better, but it was still a rough period because I was working like 6 to 7 hours a day. But yeah, the story with all the foreshadowing, the epic events that happened at the epic climax at the ending, revealing that this whole time he was in a coma, which has been foreshadowed for a long time throughout the whole video. It's a beautiful masterpiece.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This one is probably the hardest creepypasta I've worked on so far. It did take a while to make this, especially how much effort was in this story. I thank you all for waiting for this creepypasta. If you want me to read your scary story, then send it through me through Gmail in the About section. Just don't make me wet myself while I'm reading it. The next creepypasta I'm working on is definitely going to take a while, but it's about time I make it. Like and subscribe for more content, and if you want to scare your friends, share this video with them. And as always, good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.
The official intro for a long time would be this one, and it came from this video, which is so much better than the original one. So much better. There's actually good like photos here, good video, good background, good text. It's smooth, it's not weird and rugged and not just feels like copied and pasted there. It's like an actual intro that did take me a little bit to make. It took me a good while. But I loved it. It's a masterpiece. I loved it a lot. Which inspired the one after this, which is the one we now use. And this is an awesome intro, honestly. So let me just say this real quick. It technically still works if you do want me to read your creepypastas and send them in the back section, but you can also just comment down below a link, whatever short story you have, of sending me the story. So it's not necessary to be only in the about section. Or you can just comment down whatever ideas you think I should do next, and I'll do them. But this system here where it's just the creepypastas no longer has to be just creepypasta. It can be about anything. Alright. Now, it's the moment that I'm pretty sure everyone, instance, if you go into the description of the video, there is a 9/11 emergency call aftermath. Now, this video is hands down one of the most saddest and confusingest videos I have ever made. Literally, I remember when first made it, I had 5 theories of what it could mean. Now I have about 3 last time I checked because I forgot a couple of them because I never wrote them down. But it is a very, very interesting video.
Hello, this is Scare and Bear Hospital. This is Mark Wood. I'm here relating about how my wife and son is doing. What's their names? Rosa and Nathan. One moment. Hello? Yes. This is Dr. Rupert. Unfortunately, I have some bad news. What is it? Your wife is dead. She died on the way to the hospital. She was on the driver during the car accident, which means she got the most hurt. Oh my god. The kids in the back were also unfortunately killed the moment the crash happened. Fortunately, Nathan survived. Really? Yes, but he's currently in a deep coma as well, deeply injured. So if we want to visit him, he will not be able to respond. It's okay. I'll come. Hey, buddy, it's me, Dad. I don't think you can hear me, but I want to say I love you. We all love you so much. Remember Disney World? How we had so much fun? Remember playing Minecraft in your room and getting mad at me when I was there? Just imagine playing that with you, okay? Lisa. Your mother will be there to take you to the light.
So, this right here is probably one of the most confusingest things I have ever made, even at the time. Even at the time, it is such a cool thing though to think about this. So, here are the three theories. First theory, the father brings this as a toy to remember his son, which is the most simplest one, where he brings this toy with him and he puts it on next to him as it is his toy. That's the most simplest theory. Now, here's the other two. The second one is that this represents the sun, which, if you remember earlier in the Wake Up Creepypasta, that was described as having no soul and is lifeless, which could represent the son here who can't move and is in deep coma. Third, this could represent the dad, because the dad is always at work and he thinks to that he never sees him, so the son may see him as lifeless and soulless, which would explain why it always tries to get near him but never actually gets him, and is always chasing him and hunting him down. These are three theories I came up with this monkey scene here, with the toy Simbas. As it has almost no need to get here, but when you begin to really think about it, that it makes sense. Any of these three theories could fully count, which is probably one of my most favorite parts about this video, of how crazy the theories can really go with this. This could be a lot. Not just the three theories I mentioned, but more possibly like this. If you want, I'm pretty sure someone can make this about their how the Pharaoh the Barrel is this monkey similar symbols. But yeah, the three are the major ones that I do understand and I do agree with. That those three theories do count with this. And it's so interesting to think about that. And overall, this video is just sad, honestly. Like, it's dark. It's dark. It's just very realistically dark. There's no like music really or anything like that. It's like the aftermath. And damn, it's dark. But it is definitely a really good aftermath as it makes so many questions pop up, which have not. I'm pretty sure no one really theorized much about this much. But to those who have, thank you for trying. That means a lot, as I had to theorize a lot when I had to figure this one out, and it's actually really fun to think about. So now that was Wake Up Minecraft Original Creepypasta. That is one of my most favorite videos and one of my greatest videos I've ever made. I thank you guys for all listening to this video. And thank you for allowing me to talk about this amazing video I've made. As I know I like it a lot, but that's not just me. On my original channel, which existed, this video was uploaded like 2 days right before it got lost forever. But on my original channel, which still is up, it's like I think almost 600 or 700 views for this video. This is the re-uploaded one, and it's the last re-uploaded. After this, 2 days later will be the birth of my new channel. This one right here, Official Nightmare Planet. Came out August 4, 2023. It's been nearly a year. So thank you all for watching this video. Thank you all for allowing me to talk about this wonderful masterpiece. Allow me to show you this story and what secret messages are really here. I thank you all for being patient recently, as recently I've been, as you can tell here, not uploading as much as I usually do, mainly because of the working progress. That is the Alignment Chapters 4, as I will not spoil about it much, because if I do, then I'll feel really bad, because still there's a lot of progress that needs to be made. And currently it's in its developments, but it's in really early developments, I would say. It still needs a lot of time to grow and flourish. So thank you all for being patient and allowing me to make videos still, but not super fast paced. I would say usually maybe a week, probably a week or less, I'll make a new video. But I don't know if they're gonna be as long as this one or as well super edited, you could say, or like really, really crazy. As the really, really crazy video is gonna be Alignment Chapter 4. So I thank you all for your understanding. I thank you for allowing me to be here talking, and I thank you all for the 20 subscribers I've had. It's been 2 months since I came back to Nightmare Planet, and already 8 new subscribers since when I left, which is beautiful to see. So I thank you all. Thank you all for having the courage, and thank you all for allowing me to make these videos, as I truly do enjoy them. Even sometimes, like in the past, I forced myself to do things that made myself hurt a lot. But afterwards, I realized how to make videos at a fun, actual pace and be able to actually enjoy it. So I thank you all for enjoying the content that I've made. And as always, good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.